A great kind of American example is Alaska Airlines, which no one in South Asia has ever heard of because it only services the US. But they have this great saying where they say, look, we're a software company with wings. And it really embodies what's happening in the world today. Whether you're selling clothes or widgets or services, everyone is a software company now.
Welcome to Coffee and Conversation. I'm your host, Karim Rafa. I'm joined today by Brian Goldfarb, CMO of Chef Software. Brian, thanks so much for coming today.
Thanks for having me.
Can you tell me a bit more of what you do at Chef Software?
Sure. Well, we are not a food company, as you might imagine. We actually are an IT automation company, so we focus on helping large enterprises and medium-sized companies ship software faster, help them automate their IT infrastructure, automate security and compliance, and also help them move to the cloud. And one of the things that we focus on for our customers is helping them manage whether they're having applications run in the cloud, having applications run on premises in their own data centers, and understanding what that looks like so they can deliver that software to their customers faster.
Can you give us an example of a company you've worked with, without naming it necessarily, but what you did for them?
Sure. Well, we have thousands of customers around the globe. We're working closely with UOB here in Singapore, helping them with their IT technology and security in the background. We're working with the governments and a lot of their technology initiatives. A great kind of American example is Alaska Airlines, which no one in South Asia has ever heard of because it only services the US. But they have this great saying where they say, look, we're a software company with wings. And it really embodies what's happening in the world today. Whether you're selling clothes or widgets or services, everyone is a software company now. Another great example in the Asia region is Rakuten. And so they're using Chef to help them ship their mobile applications faster.
It's all about that rapid deployment, right? You want to push updates, you want to push newer software, and you want to make that seamless, not
Correct.
only in one country, but not even a region, but worldwide. It has to happen at the same time.
Global deployment, speed of deployment, and not having fear of risk. One of the challenges that we see with CIOs all around the world is that when they make changes to software, things break. They introduce security risk. And as a result, things go too slow because someone smaller and more nimble is going to move faster and service customers better. And so they need to leverage software to reduce that risk.
There must be so many aspects you have to take into consideration when you're working on, say, the plumbing of a tech company. There's compliance, it changes per region. Like, how involved are you at what level do you find yourself at Chef?
Yeah, one of the things that we focus on as a primary part of our business is helping an organization change and how they do work together. So one of the most complex areas in IT is you have security, you have IT, and you have operations. They're not friends. They're all doing different things. They're all focusing in different words. They all have different goals. And the secret to success for any IT organization is to get those three teams to work together. And we believe that the way you do that is through code, because code is the common language of IT. Security can speak code, IT ops can speak code, developers can speak code. And when you eliminate the friction in how they collaborate, it can help people move faster.
Can you tell me a bit more about Asia Pacific, the challenges you're seeing particularly in this region?
Yeah, we have a great team here focused on Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Malaysia, Japan. And what we're seeing mainly compared to the rest of the world is just around digital transformation maturity. It's the regulations and the complexity of the market, it's so spread out. The technology innovation is so fast that the way businesses have approached digital transformation to date hasn't been super successful. You have a lot of legacy, a lot of older technology, and so we are really working to drive organization change. Like, how do you think differently? How do you embrace cloud? Or how do you embrace just the fact that maybe you should ship every day as opposed to every year?
There must be two sides to APAC, really. I mean, you've got Australia, New Zealand, which I guess is not that different from the West. You hit Singapore, which is super open to innovation, and with such an FI-centric nation state, they have to be. And then you've got other countries which aren't quite there yet, but then as a nascent market, they've got that pretty much empty playing field to do it right the first time, right?
That's right. I mean, the market maturity is one of the biggest challenges in the APAC region, I think, for Western companies. How do you more mature markets, like you said, with ANZ and Singapore versus less mature markets like the Philippines, Vietnam, even some of the North Asian countries. And that really just comes down to, look, our software can solve problems for any level of maturity, but we are really focused on financial services, insurance, FSI, and that's why Singapore has been such a rich and successful opportunity for us, because we're helping banks and we're helping insurance and we're helping government make good on the promise of servicing their customers.
That's really your primary focus in the end, is actually being behind the scenes, but making sure that the customer gets the experience that
That's
they
right.
deserve, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think when you're truly focusing on IT, we want to make the people who do the work heroes, and they're heroes because they're able to deliver value to the business. And I think today, value really comes from their customers being successful.
We touched on compliance briefly. Can you give me a couple of examples across Asia Pacific where that can be a challenge?
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of international standards around security compliance and what people's expectations are of data centers. Like the NIST standards in the US, there's STIG standards, and that basically, in simple terms, say these are the configuration of your machines to make sure they're secure. And if you do this work, then you're as secure as you can be to prevent the bad guys from doing bad things. And we all know the bad guys are going to continue to try to do bad things, but you have to have a baseline. And so what we do is we can look across hundreds of thousands of servers and say to a CISO, are all these servers configured correctly to be as secure as possible? And then moreover, ask that same question every minute of every day, so that there's no chance for one server somewhere to get out of compliance. That's a big deal, because what happens a lot is a human, because we're fallible, will make a change to one machine out of 100,000, and you have no idea for months or years, and that could be the place where something bad can happen. So we can help control that, and then at the same time we can provide auditability, so we can know who and how those changes were made, so that you as a leader can feel confident telling your boss that, yes, I've done everything I can.
That's fantastic. Well, you really are in the right place based on what you're doing, right?
Yeah, it's been great. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you soon.